Next fight, I'm going to be very excited for it, but don't really got a lot to say from a prediction perspective. I think it's a pretty obvious pick here. UFC is setting up Rinya Nakamura, trying to keep his profile going and build him up in Asia here. And I think he's probably the best Asian prospect on the roster for the men's divisions for the UFC. Rinya Nakamura is a blue chip guy. He's an incredible athlete. He's someone that has extremely high level background in amateur wrestling. And in MMA, he's shown that he's not scared to get in there, mix it up, and he has one-punch knockout power like we saw in his last fight. Very aggressive guy on the feet, comes in, is just willing to exchange, and when he lands clean, he can knock you unconscious. And then when he gets his wrestling going, he has really fun wrestling and watching, and hit slams, very explosive, and his wrestling is top-notch, top of the food chain for anyone in the weight class. And on top, he's extremely aggressive. He has good submission finishes, heavy ground and pound. And he has had a fight where he kind of held the guy down and won via decision as well. But most of the time, he's always looking to finish the fight. His cardio looks like it's on point. He's young, confident. And the only thing is just he can't get wild and just sit in the pocket and exchange against everybody like he did in his last fight, because one point, he might get clipped, and that's just not a smart thing to do when he has so many advantages in other areas over most guys. But Fernie Garcia, he's a guy that kind of a middling guy. He's average everywhere, decent boxing, okay defensive wrestling. He has a decent double, good cardio, pretty tough, but he's just not outstanding anywhere. I think Nakamura can beat him anywhere he wants to. And the factor of the knockout for Garcia isn't really there. He only has one knockout win, so I don't even think if Nakamura brawls with him and gives him a chance that he necessarily has the power to put out Nakamura like that with one shot. So we saw that Brady Heiston was able to out-wrestle Fernie Garcia, so I think if Nakamura wants to go that route, he'll be able to do it fairly easily. And I think that if he wants to go in there and just exchange and try to improve his striking and get more comfortable with it and try to find that knockout, then I think he could potentially do that too. I don't think it's the smartest game plan to go out there and just brawl and exchange with everybody, but I'm going to say Nakamura goes out there and maybe gets a knockdown early but doesn't get the finish this time, and then uses his top pressure and his control as wrestling to win a decision. Garcia's a tough guy, and I feel like unless Nakamura could just get him out of there early, I think Nakamura by decision is a decent bet, because Garcia is a veteran. He's going to be one of the more experienced, well-rounded guys that Nakamura has fought to date, and I think he probably can survive. But I don't see how he can win the fight. I feel like Nakamura is pretty much a lock in this fight.